Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Fallout 3. We're here on Rivet City, which as it turns out is on a boat, or a ship, as it were. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff for me to explore and a lot of people to talk to. So I will just continue to talk to people. The problem is that it's a large, very confusing place and the people keep moving around, so it's kind of hard to actually find all of them. But let's see what we can do.
Want to do some buff out?
This
Maybe
guy
a
over
little
here.
Psycho? Who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke. I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems.
Wait, what do you mean you run the chem shop? I was at the chem shop and there was someone else. But I guess they are probably related because she had like the same last name. Why don't you just take them from your shop? I mean, that's a good question. You shouldn't take that stuff, it'll kill you. Here, have some psycho. Yeah, why don't you just take them from your shop?
My wife, Cindy, she's always watching the inventory. If I take any, she'll lock me out.
Well, maybe that's a good call on her part. Why are you guys living on this boat? I mean, I haven't asked him specifically, but I'm guessing that he will just give me a very similar answer, huh?
It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world.
Yeah, that's exactly the same we've heard before. Okay, so I guess I can't actually give him any psycho. Not that I would want to. I mean, I'm not going to tell him that he should not take this stuff because he's a grown man, he can make his own decisions. Of course, you might argue that if you're actually addicted to drugs, it's not really a decision anymore because you can't really think straight anymore because, you know, it's an addiction. But I wouldn't lecture him on it and say, oh, well, don't do this, it'll kill you, because I'm pretty sure he's aware of that. On the other hand, I don't think I would give him the psycho to, you know, feed that addiction. So, again, I will just, you know, stay out of this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a little bit paranoid that people will lock me in again, like last episode. And yeah, this is his wife. Okay, well, I guess I will move on.
Hey, be more careful.
Also, since I saw some people going to bed already, yeah, it's like in the middle of the night. So maybe I do want to find myself a place to sleep as well. And then we will look around for more people to talk to in the morning. Okay, we have like an empty bed here. Let's just sleep until the morning. And then we will keep looking around. Okay, we did talk to him. We did talk to him. We did talk to these guys, but maybe I will try again.
It makes me feel safer knowing you're around.
Really? What have I done to deserve this kind of praise? I've met your mother, no wonder you're such a brat. Do you know anything about Rivet City? How they made it? Anything? I gotta run, stay out of trouble, James. Yeah, I don't know, tell me more about Rivet City.
It's a boat. A really big boat.
That's true. I've met your mother, no wonder you're such a brat. Again, I'm not sure who's to blame for this. If this is just a very poorly behaved kid in general. I mean, usually the parents have some part in that, right? But again, I don't really want to make that kind of judgment, so whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever indeed.
Died of radiation poisoning last week.
Whatever indeed.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much
welcome
better.
to a quick
If we
fix.
don't get fresh water soon,
there!
we'll all end up like her.
There's a lot of people standing
Want to do
around
some
here.
buff out? Maybe a little psycho?
One of the new...
Yeah? What do you want?
Okay, that's just the mother again. You don't have to be such a bitch. Is that your son running around here? I think it is.
Yeah, that's James. My own little troublemaking brat. I'd sell them to you if they'd let me. Unless
Wow.
you've got any more personal questions, I'm busy.
Just
Immigrants died
wow.
of radiation
Just
poisoning
wow.
last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
Yeah,
you
people
seen
keep
my
saying
husband,
that.
Polly?
Anyway, this is a guy we
Saint
haven't talked to
Monica
yet.
bless you. I am Father Clifford of St. Monica's Church.
Yes, we have heard about him in the previous episode. So, tell me more about Saint Monica.
She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her.
I mean, I'm not
If you
from
want
here.
to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come.
Well, I will think about it. And again, I can make a donation. You're a priest. I heard that Diego and Angela are sleeping together. Lie. I mean, I'm not entirely certain whether this is a lie or not. I have heard about it, I think. But when I talked to them, Angela was like, yeah, I'm in love with him, but he's just ignoring me, which would indicate that this is completely one-sided and they have not actually slept together. And I mean, if I'm supposed to take, like, ant pheromones to fix the problem, that also would indicate that they don't actually have any kind of relationship, because she still has to seduce him. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Either way, this is some business I don't want to get involved with, so whatever. I think Mr. Lopez is suicidal. Yeah, he was making some weird comments. But let's first talk about yourself.
Yes, my flock is all of Rivet City. You should come to services this Sunday. I'll be telling the tale of St. Monica.
Barney, that's all he has to talk about. But yeah, what can you tell me about Mr. Lopez?
Yes, I know. I've been counseling him for some time now. He used to go stand on the observation balcony all afternoon. He's down to only an hour or so at 3 o'clock.
That's an odd bit of information to drop in this situation. Maybe I should check out the observation deck at 3 o'clock. I will try to remember that. But yeah, gotta go.
St. Monica bless you.
Okay, so, let's continue to look around.
Oh, come on. Pay more attention to what you're doing.
Capital Preservation Society, St. Monica Church Science Lab. I mean, the Science Lab is basically where I want to go because I want to talk to... Okay, here we go, Science Lab. Sure, since we're here, may as well check this out. Huh. This is bigger than I thought it would be.
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this.
Okay, we
Don't know
did
about
talk
your
to this
runaway
guy.
robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
And we
yes,
have
But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee over
Dr.
here.
Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake, the technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
What do
Suit
you mean?
yourself.
Hey,
Huh. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not sure what this conversation was about, but they did mention an android, so that is something.
Don't touch the vegetables.
you there.
Oh,
What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered.
look who's
Are
talking.
you by any chance for hire?
That depends. What exactly are we talking about here? You have a problem with the way I look? Yeah, what do you mean, weathered?
How amusing. You've mistaken my metaphor for a derogatory remark. I need a local, you see, someone with verve. I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
Well, I'm not really a local, though. I'm just a visitor. Missing property? What kind of property? Okay, tell me more about it.
How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need.
You mean like an
And
android?
occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Okay, so that story we heard about the android that is on the run might actually be true. The android is dead. See, here's an internal component. Oh, well, that's interesting. Sounds like slavery to me. You're sure you don't wander off on Sure they don't wander off on purpose. Interesting, but what's this got to do with me exactly? Enough technobabble, Zimmer, just tell me what you want me to do. I wonder if he's going to believe me if I show him that component.
What? Let me see that. This is a neuroservo, unique to the A321. And you say you got this from his corpse? I suppose there's no other way you could have obtained it. Well, damn it! I was afraid this would happen. Out here in this wasteland. Well, here's 50 caps for your troubles. Try to buy yourself an education out here in this hell. Good day.
They're fragile.
You are one rude man.
Did you hear about the fight in the
Okay, well, I guess that's all I had to do to
Yep.
finish this task,
Well,
because
gonna have
now
to
they're
face
not
some
going to look
cases
for him anymore.
I'm sure she just
I would still like to meet that replicated man, to be honest,
Janice,
and
Hello.
have you overbalanced the
just
chemical
find
mix?
out
They should be just fine.
how he looks
Try it
like.
again.
Anyway,
See you.
there's so many people around here. I need to decide who to talk to first. Let's talk to Dr.
This is a
Lee.
restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him.
Thank you?
You're James's daughter, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Wait, how do you know who I am? Have we met? I mean, she just said that I look just like him, and she obviously met him, so that is your answer. You know my father? Have you seen him? Where's my father? Tell me now. Yeah, I guess you have met my father, huh?
Well, yes, of course I do. Don't you know who I am? I suppose James never told you.
He didn't tell me anything.
I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your father many years ago. Your mother as well, in fact. You'll have to forgive me, this has all been very stressful. What with your father suddenly showing up here after being gone for so long. You have to understand that we put all of that behind us. Project Purity, our work, all of it. We've moved on, even if your father hasn't.
I'm trying to find my father. Have you seen him? Can you tell me more about my parents? I'd like to know a bit more about you. Tell me about this project you worked on with my father. What is his lab? What kind of place is Rivet City? Okay, lots of interesting questions. So, can you tell me more about my parents in general?
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave.
Okay.
What else do you want to know?
I mean, we know that my mother died shortly after I was born. So, clearly I was not born in the vault if he left after the death of my mother. That does kind of confirm what we've heard before, so that's good. What was my father like back then? I never knew my mother. What can you tell me about her? Why did my mother die? What happened? I mean, it seems that she just died directly after giving birth, which, you know, is something that happens, but maybe there's more to it. Yeah, what was my father like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again.
And can you tell me more about my mother?
Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
And why exactly did she die?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
Okay, so probably nothing fishy going on in that regard. I understand. I'm sure you did everything you could. You weren't prepared. My mother is dead. Whatever. I never knew her anyway. No, I think I understand that. It's not easy in these circumstances.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think I had more questions, though.
Okay.
So, where is my father now, I wonder?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
Yeah, and then he left me a very cryptic message. This isn't about me, this is about my father. Now where is he? I left the vault to look for him. Screw the vault, I'm not staying cooped in there. Yeah, I left the vault to look for him, and also because at some point people just started to kill everyone and try to kill me as well.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
Yeah, like I said, that was not the only reason I left, because there were other circumstances. I'm sorry, could you please tell me where he's gone? Then stop wasting my time and tell me where he is. Yeah, let's just cut to the chase. Where is he?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, at least that is some information. But where is that old lab?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here.
Okay.
Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Well, I'm probably not going to heed that warning, but that did update my quest, so at least we know where to look for him next. But yeah, I would like to learn more about that mysterious project you've been talking about.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
Everything? Like, what was the point of it?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water.
Nice.
It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Well, it sounds very ambitious, but why exactly did it not work?
We had the basic principles down. We understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment.
And that's why you stopped working on it?
You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
Okay, but I mean, you are also saying that the project didn't work anyway, so it's not like his departure would have been such a big difference in the situation, right? Anyway, let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me more about yourself, maybe.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
All right, that's all you're willing to tell me about yourself. Anyway, I did ask this already. So is there any way you can help me out, maybe?
Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or you're chasing after him. I'm sorry.
But I might be able to convince you anyway. Come on, isn't there anything you can do to help? Sure, let's give it a try.
I suppose I can spare a few stim packs.
There we go.
It's not much, but it might make things easier for you.
Not that I really need stim packs that badly, but I'll take them. But okay, what exactly are you working on in this lab?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
These seem to be like two very different fields of science. But okay, it's always good to diversify, I suppose. And tell me more about Rivet City.
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
Well, good luck with that. And yeah, I guess that's all I can ask.
Good luck finding your father.
Certainly, gents.
Alright, so I actually got some information. Look for Dad in Project Purity's control room. And okay, it's over here, not too far away. But again, there's a lot more people I can talk to here, so let's do that.
I'm Janice Kaplinsky, Chief Botanist. What do you need?
I mean, I already know where he went, but whatever.
I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it. She's already in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it.
Well, thanks for nothing, I guess.
So long.
Lay a hand on Dr. Zimmer and I'll snap your neck like a chicken bone.
Yeah, he seems to be like the god of that Dr. Zimmer
Hey there.
guy. And yeah, you've been talking to Dr. Zimmer. Maybe you can tell me more about that.
Yeah?
I'm looking for my father. Have you seen him? Is Dr. Lee as smart as they say she is? Can I get a drink around here? Preferably somewhere clean. Okay, I can't talk to her about her conversation with Dr. Zimmer. So I'm just going to use all the other options.
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
I already did. And is she actually as smart as they say she is?
She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here. Though that's not saying much.
Okay. That is kind of a backhanded compliment. But yeah, can I get a drink around here?
The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck.
Yeah, I think I've seen it already.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, so it looks like most of the people around here don't really have much of interest to say. Yeah, I talked to these two guys. I have talked to him before.
What else
This
do
is
you
just
want
Dr.
from me?
Lee again. And it doesn't look like there's anyone inside this room. Okay, well, in that case, I suppose I will leave the lab and instead look around the rest of the boat. By the way, what is the current time? I try to remember to go to the observation deck.
Clinic. Please don't disturb any of my patients.
Okay, we haven't talked to this guy yet.
You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston.
Why are you not turning around? Okay, there we go. You're a doctor, right? I could use some help. Can you heal my radiation? I need medical supplies. Got any chems? I could really use a fix. Don't need any of that. This place looks really pretty easy to rob. You have any problems with thieves? Do you know where I can get something to drink? Did you know that Paulie Cantelli is an addict? Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any problems with thieves?
Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them.
Yeah, I thought that it sounded vaguely like a threat. Sure, let's ask about something to drink as well.
The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck.
Right. And did you know that Paulie Cantelli is an addict?
He's totally strung out. It's going to kill him one of these days.
Clearly. Okay, I can't really ask anything else here, so goodbye.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I have been here before, but I think I didn't check out... Okay, I can't activate this anyway. I mean, I could hack it, but not while he's around. Okay, again, let's just keep looking. Okay, this is the hotel. But unless I actually buy a room, I probably can't enter the hotel. But I'm pretty sure there's some stuff over here that I haven't checked out yet. I have seen the clinic. Science lab. Can't go through here.
Hello.
Well, I have seen all of that already. This is a dead
What's
end.
the big idea?
This is all locked. Okay, so I may have seen all of this here. Bridge Tower Capital Preservation Society, the Muddy Rudder. Okay, this is definitely a place I haven't been to yet. And it's still not 3 o'clock.
Everything looks okay here.
Okay. I guess I will go downstairs and check out what's going on here. Marketplace. Capital Preservation Society. Common Room. St. Monica's Church. Okay. This is an area I haven't been to yet. At least not to all of these places. Pretty sure I've been here already. Like I said, this place is very confusing. So many doors.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
got another kid over here. Oh, but I can't
Yes, miss.
really talk to her. She doesn't have anything to say. Yeah, now I'm back here again. But I mean, clearly, there's gotta be some place around here that I haven't been to yet. Capital Preservation Society.
Hey,
And this is someone I haven't
What do
talked
you
to
need?
yet. Are you related to CJ? Why do you let that James Hargrave kid play with your daughter? What do you people do here all day? Thanks for your help, Christy. So, yeah, are you related to CJ?
she's my daughter. You can usually find her running around with that James Hargrave.
You think that's a good idea?
That poor child. His mother, Tammy Hargrave, is a very troubled woman. She spends too much time down in the Muddy Rudder, drinking and using foul language.
Right.
I feel so sorry for him. I think CJ is a good influence on him, but I do worry about the two of them.
Well, maybe you should keep an eye on them just in case. So what do you people do here all day?
We're the lucky ones. We don't have to fight just to survive. We have normal jobs. I clean the halls. It might not look like it, but you should have seen it before.
Okay. I take your word on it. But yeah, thanks, I suppose.
Goodbye.
Why I'm glad I'm in here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Come
people
on,
I can
pay more
talk
attention to what you're
Nothing is
doing.
getting through these walls.
Although I'm not sure if...
I do the repairs around here, so if you see something that needs fixing, let me know.
there's any quest
This
connected
place
to any
could
of
use a
this.
few more people willing to work. Everything is falling apart. I'm the only one willing to fix it. I'm busy. I've got a lot of repairs to make.
Okay, I can't properly talk to this guy, apparently. Okay, this is just the science lab again. Okay, let's maybe find that Capital Preservation Society. That is kind of intriguing. Okay, this is just a science lab again. Ooh, look at this place. Activate. Welcome to the Capital Preservation Society. Okay, so this is the place. Information. Feel free to browse our collection. Constitution of the USA. Emancipation Proclamation. Gettysburg Address. Monroe Doctrine. US Declaration of War on Germany. US Declaration of War on China. Alright, let's have a look at all of this. The Constitution of the United States was drafted in 1786 and adopted a year later by the Constitutional Convention of Philly. This document defines the organization of the U.S. government and sets forth the rules and regulations known as articles. In addition, there are modifications made to the article by ruling presidents during their reigns known as amendments. The Society owns the only known copy of the document to exist, which was retrieved from the ruins of the National Archive in 2056. Okay. Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation was a document issued by the breathtakingly charismatic President Abraham Lincoln in 1862. This executive order was the beginning of the end of slavery in the United States. Although it was issued during the Civil War, making it a war measure, it paved the way for the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which completely abolished slavery once and for all. And the Gettysburg Address. The Capital Preservation Society is proud to have in its possession a copy of one of the most iconic and prolific speeches in the United States history. This speech, given by the astonishingly intelligent Abraham Lincoln on Thursday, November 19th, 1863, laid the groundwork of what would later become the basis of democracy in the United States and set the standards for a country with a government by the people, for the people. Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine was presented in 1823 by the average and unremarkable President James Monroe. The document warns the European powers of the time not to interfere in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere, citing the example of colonization and puppet governments as possible intolerances. U.S. Declaration of War on Germany. Part of our collection is a copy of the formal declaration of war made on Germany during World War II on December 11, 1941 by the government and endorsed by the President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He doesn't have any specific qualities like astonishingly intelligent or very average. While the document doesn't evoke the brilliance of other masterworks like the Emancipation Proclamation, it still served as a reminder to the world that the United States wasn't a power to be trifled with. Okay, I mean, up until now, this is all real history as it happened in our world, but this one is new. Although it is uncertain when the declaration of war on China was made, some say 2066 when they invaded Alaska, others say 2067 when the first power armor suits were deployed to counter their forces. It is the last known document of note authored by the United States government before the bombs fell. Had the declaration had the tenacity and might of a stronger president behind it, say Abraham Lincoln, who's to say what the outcome of these tremulous years would have been? I mean, bombs will destroy you no matter how tenacious you are, I'm pretty sure. But okay, yeah, this is like where the timelines had diverged. But let's look around a little bit. This seems to be, well, a museum of sorts. Look at all of this stuff here. Baseball glove. And this guy is called Abraham Washington.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
Yes, it's an interesting collection indeed. It's an interesting collection of garbage. Oh good, I was looking for some kindling. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
And what would that be? Alright, I'll bite. Which document is missing? Who cares? What's missing is my ability to stay awake in this snoriatorium. I mean, the word creation of snoriatorium is pretty amazing. But I'm actually kind of interested in this. So what document is missing?
In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence.
I see. If you want me to retrieve the declaration, all you have to do is ask. Yeah, I sense a quest coming up here. But I mean, I wouldn't even know where to look for it. Let me take a leap of faith here. You want me to find it for you. What's your point? Skip the history lesson, Professor. No, history is important. I mean, if only to learn from it. Both in good and in the bad sense, as in, you know, you might find some stuff that is admirable, that you want to repeat or recreate. But it can also serve as a warning of what mistakes not to make again. So, you know, it's important. So, yeah, do you want me to find that Declaration of Independence for you?
Oh, would you? It would mean so much to me and the Society's collection here.
I'd love to be a part of history and bring you the Declaration. Not now, maybe another time. Slow down there, Grams. What's this reward you're talking about? Let me think about this for a bit and I'll get back to you. No, this actually sounds like an interesting quest. Please tell me where to look for it.
Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
All right. Well, I've looked around a bit. Stealing Independence. Okay, so this actually gave me another quest. I have a few questions about the Declaration of Independence. Can you show me how to get to the National Archive on my map? Yeah, I have a few questions about the Declaration of Independence.
Please ask them. After all, knowledge is power.
All this info on the Declaration, where'd you get it? I don't like secrets. Huh, that's an interesting question. And since I have like 100% speech check here, I will ask it.
Well, this is quite embarrassing, actually. I sent someone like yourself after the Declaration. She did some of the research for me, but now I haven't seen her in a few months. I wouldn't worry about it. Many have died for causes far less grand than what you're about to undertake.
Or maybe she found it, but she decided not to return it, but sell it to someone else. Then again, there's probably not a lot of people around here that would be interested in that kind of stuff. So what does the Declaration of Independence look like?
A piece of what was called parchment, sort of a thick paper, has faded handwritten writing all over it. It's no more than 2.5 feet tall and 2 feet wide. If you find it, you should be able to roll it up carefully.
Alright, I will look for it. And tell me a bit about the history behind the document.
On July the 4th in 1776, a group calling themselves the Second Judgmental Congress got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland. After a ceremony which ended with Paul Revere singing the famous battle hymn known as the National Anthem, the document was signed. From there, it was sent to England by plane, presumably, and presented to King George himself. Thus began the Evolutionary War.
Evolutionary War. I think there might be some mistakes in your history here. Specifically the plane part. I honestly don't know enough about the rest of the history of the Declaration of Independence that I can judge it. But I'm pretty sure it was not by plane and it was not called Evolutionary War. But anyway, let me ask you something else.
Certainly.
So yeah, where exactly is the National Archive?
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants.
Of course it is.
Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
Of course it is. Thank you. Well, I've looked around a bit. What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh? And have you come to any conclusions?
Yes, it's an interesting collection indeed. It's an interesting collection. Okay, it's basically just what I've already said.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see.
Yeah, it's just the same dialogue again. Let's just skip through all of this again. Okay, so now I'm back where I started. Anyway, I guess that's all.
Be careful. The archives are infested with who knows what.
Well, you already told me. Apparently, it's infested with super mutants. Yeah, look at that. They actually have a bunch of ancient documents here. And let me have a look at the map. Stealing independence. Where exactly would that be? Oh. Oh, okay, it's over here. So if I just go back to the mall, I should be able to reach the National Archives. Okay, so this is something for another day. But let's maybe go around a little bit. What are you doing? Is this some kind of gymnastics? Are you trying to stay fit? Very odd. And what's with the mannequins over here? This is kind of strange. Anyway, let me look around a bit in this museum. Okay, apparently he stopped his weird movements over here. Okay, so that is the Capital Preservation Society. And this is his personal quarters. I mean, he's certainly dedicated to it. Look at all of this stuff. Can't hack the computer. Alright. Never mind. I'll leave you to it. So, another place that I still want to find is the Muddy Rudder. So let's try to find one of these signs again.
Yes?
Okay, this is a science lab again. And this is like the... I'm guessing these might be the common rooms. Yep, these are the common rooms. St. Monica's Church. Okay, I haven't been at the St. Monica's Church either. So maybe I want to check that out next.
Everything looks okay here.
St. Monica's Church. Okay, this is a church apparently. Where does this go? Okay, this is back to the market. Oh, this is the door that I might want to lockpick if I want to find out more about this person. Okay, now Diego's here. And the father. Okay, it doesn't look like there's much else going on. I guess it's not the right time for an actual sermon. And nothing too special here. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure I still haven't explored all of this. So I will try to find that Muddy Rudder bar in the next episode. And the observation deck, and maybe I can find out what's going on with that Mr. Lopez guy. But I think for now, the episode is long enough, so let's make a cut here.
Putting railings on the flight deck.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something about it.
I'm sure they do. But yeah, I guess that's enough for today. So as always, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.